Welcome to Hate to Wait, where two lifelong dieters talk about their current struggles with weight loss. Diets, we've tried them all. We are not doctors. We don't play them on TV or on this podcast. Join our journey because misery loves company.
Hello, Emily.
Hello, John. How are you?
Tired.
Yeah. What's up with the tiredness?
It's been, it's really weird. I've been having this for a while and I wasn't sure why. Because when I go to bed, I'm exhausted. I'd lay down and I just can barely keep my eyes open. And then I fall asleep. And like in an hour and a half, I wake up like I've had 8 hours sleep. Now, normally that would be great. But
I long for that.
Right. But it doesn't last long. Like if I try to get up and do something and I get tired. So then I try to say, okay, you got to go back to sleep again, because if you don't sleep, you know what's going to happen. You're going to wake up tomorrow. You're going to be tired and you're going to want all the sugary things. Your body's going to want carbohydrates because it's fast energy, and you're going to be miserable. And I mean miserable. So I try to go back to sleep. I took a shower just to try to, calm myself down. And finally, around 4:30, almost 5 o'clock, I fell asleep. So now that means I have to get, so at 9:30, we start here at 11. 9:30, I wake up and I was like, ugh. All right, I took a shower last night. I don't need to do that. So I get up, brush my teeth, run around. And then I got down here late. So now I'm disheveled. Like I'm not into myself. Like I haven't psyched myself up for the show. So sorry, peoples. This might be a train wreck.
I know we had a very quiet pre-show of just clicking buttons, because I think that's kind of where both of our heads are at right now.
Yeah, I didn't want to expel too much energy.
Yeah.
So one of the great things about being a podcaster and editor, and I record podcast interviews for other people, is that I get to meet all these amazing people all over the country. And one of my clients who does the Maria and Jane podcast, which is all about the marijuana industry.
Oh, yeah.
Which is where I got the CBD. Oil. And, so she has this thing where she wears these glasses, these blue light filter computer glasses.
That's what I have.
I've never heard of them before.
They're wonderful.
See? So what I do is I get up from here when I get done, and I go upstairs to bed, and I usually talk to Samantha before, it's time to go to bed. And then and she'll tell you, usually I'm falling asleep. And she's like, you're falling asleep. I'm like, I'm not falling asleep. I'm not. What? What'd you say? So, and then I crash. And then 2 hours later, I'm wide awake. So she said that since she started using these, she was able to sleep through the night.
Yep.
So maybe I will be able to do this.
Oh my gosh. So we had, at the place I used to work at, they brought in new light bulbs. It was their, clean energy initiative. And they brought in these new intensely bright light bulbs. And so I was on the third floor, and there were 3 floors to this building. And the first 2, the ceilings were high enough where the lights didn't affect them. Now you're gone. Waiting for John. So how's everyone's week going? Hello, Lisa. Hello, Don, Karen, Sarah. How did everyone's Thanksgiving go? We didn't even talk about that. I can't believe we didn't get right into that. Oh, he lost power. Oh, okay. Well, that's the way to start your morning, is when you lose power.
And we're back. That was
weird.
We're
back. We were talking about blue blocker glasses, and I was going into a story.
Yes. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You don't have to apologize. It's okay. I had to get blue blockers about 3 years ago when our company got these new lights, and they were so bright, and we were on the top floor, which had the lower ceiling. So the first 2 floors, they're like, including HR, they're like, what are you talking about? The lights are fine. And then bunch of people on the third floor where I was, we started getting headaches. We couldn't concentrate. A bunch of us would go home and lay down in the dark, and we couldn't figure out why we were all doing this. And it was because these lights were so intensely bright. And they find, like, I think I complained enough where I got a filter. They had to bring somebody in, and like they made a big deal to let me know, like, Emily, this is an inconvenience. And they put the filter over the light, and I'm like, okay, great. And then I didn't have a headache the next day. And they're like, all right, wonderful. Finally, when somebody else had to get glasses, when they didn't originally need glasses, they were like, oh, yeah, these lights are bad. And they had to put filters over all of them. And I was like, yeah, no crap. It was so awful. And I was wearing pink glasses. I ended up going and buying at Zenni Optical, which are super cheap glasses. You could just buy glasses with any color frames in them. And I got pink ones, and that actually helped. I had my screen on the lowest dimness it could get. And then they started offering blue blockers. And I was like, yep, I don't care if it's 20, 30 bucks more. And I haven't had a migraine in years. I used to get really bad migraines.
So I guess for me, because I get up in the morning, I come down here, I turn on this screen, and it's huge. It's a 27-inch screen. And I'm here doing stuff all day. And then I go upstairs, and then I'm looking at my phone. Or we are a screen-based population now.
Yeah.
So if that has a tendency to do something to you where you can't calm down or you can't sleep, then maybe I will buy these. Now, you could go to Amazon. I put a link in. They're $20.
Yeah.
And they're the Clark Kent glasses. They look like Clark Kent. They're just black frames with it. And that's okay, But they say that you should wear these for people that don't need glasses. I need glasses for distance. I can read fine. Anything up close I can read. But distance, I need glasses.
That's originally why I needed glasses. Now it's like, here is where things start to get blurry.
Yeah. Anybody that drives with me at night knows that I need glasses for distance and at nighttime driving. All right. So now they say you're supposed to put those glasses on like an hour and a half before you go to bed. And they also say, you should be off all screens an hour and a half before you go to sleep. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Read a book? How dare you?
Yes, read a book. There's a lovely book I can recommend for you in paperback form.
I got to complain. I ordered the story behind from Amazon when it first came out. I still have not received my book. And when I go to look to see why it's not here, it says there's a problem with it. And I see all these other people having their books. I know. I don't know what it is. I'll double check into it today when I go in. But yeah, it's been a crazy, crazy week for me.
You know what else? I have a feeling that the lights actually triggered a lot of overeating too, because I didn't know what to do with myself. And I remember just being like, I'm miserable. When I'm miserable, I want to eat. And I ate like crap with those terrible lights too.
Yeah, I know about that miserable and eating thing. That's been my week. I've had a week of weeks.
Yeah. Maybe with getting those glasses, it may calm down Grizz a bit too. He won't be as on edge because of all the blue light getting to him.
Maybe. Listen, like, I forget where I heard this one time. It said, oh, I know what it was. It was in the movie War Games. And at the very end, when they were like, they thought they were going to have to, they thought they fixed it and then the computer and then it started going again. And he says, I'm going to try this. And the one guy goes, I'd piss on a spark plug if I thought that would help. And that's my favorite line. So, yes, that's what I would do if I thought this would work. There's a long way to go for that little joke. Sorry about that. Back to our week. So how was your week?
Okay. So my Thanksgiving, I was telling the chat room while you were away.
Oh, that's right. We had Thanksgiving last week.
Yes. I was like, how did we not start off talking about Thanksgiving? I think because I'm already kind of over it.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big deal for me. I didn't even fill my plate. I really just put turkey, green bean casserole, and broccoli on it. We either didn't have potatoes or I missed them or I just didn't want them. We didn't have rolls, though. I was really surprised. I didn't want to say anything either because I'm like, okay, good. That's actually kind of good that my mother-in-law forgot the rolls. So yay. But then I had 2 pieces of pie because I asked her to get an extra pie for another option. And if she had just had pumpkin or just had apple, I would have just eaten 1 slice and been fine. But she got me like this multi-berry pie.
Ooh.
And berries Berry pies are my weakness. I love berry pies.
They're very, very good.
They are. Yes.
Anyhow, I mean, the same thing with me was I got one plate. I think I had a roll because, I figured I'm not going to worry about it. But I had one. I didn't eat myself into a coma. The dessert part was, I told you about the Snickerdoodle cheesecake.
Yeah.
It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And I only had 2 small pieces of it and a brownie. So I felt I really, really did well.
Yeah.
On Thanksgiving. And I took just turkey home. And was it just turkey? I didn't take anything home that wasn't off plan. And I had that afterwards.
Good.
Right. Although I am a creature of, I want to say, no, not really habit, a creature of suggestion. So remember we talked about the Bobby sandwich? It's the cranberry, the turkey, the stuffing, and mayonnaise. So I drove to that place to get it. And when I did, they said, well, what to do? I said, well, if I'm driving 20 minutes to get a sandwich, I'm going to get the large because I'll take it home. It was the size of a baseball bat. It was huge. And they also had another sandwich there, which was it was basically a Reuben, but they made it with pastrami, which was amazing. And they also made that as a hoagie. I only got a regular one, which was just like a normal, regular sub, like you would get at Subway. And so then I brought them home. And that was amazing. So that was really my Thanksgiving takeout, was that sub. I ate it over 4 days, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, I didn't just down that. I don't think I could have I don't think I could have ate that whole thing. It would have been a test. It would have been a task. Old John would have taken that on proudly, but new John cut that thing up into about 4 pieces. And so it was like 4 regular sandwiches. And then, so I did that throughout the week.
Yeah.
My problem right now is my window is widening, and I wanted to talk about changing or making new habits today. Mm-hmm. Because Adam in the chat says it's the $70 cheesecake all over again. He's absolutely right. It's the $70 cheesecake, although this thing was only, it was $14. But, it was big. It could fit, it could have fed 4 people. So making a new habit. Have you tried changing habits? How successful are you with that? I know you're doing that thing where you write in the morning. I keep forgetting what that's called.
Yeah. I can't believe I've been doing that for over a month. Now it's become my morning thing. Like, it's part of my morning ritual. It's so weird. It's like, okay, get the kid dressed, get the kid fed, and then, all right, go off. Go let TV be your parent for about 30 minutes. Let me just sit here and write. And now, you know what? I'm almost afraid to go a day without doing it, because it just puts me in such a good mindset. I think it's not habit. It's more fear-based, that, oh my God, I love this so much.
What's it called again? Because I forget, and other
morning
people...
pages. So I write morning pages. And in the mornings, I wake up before I even look at my phone. I don't even look at my phone. I'll pick it up because I can see the time on it, even without opening it. That's about it. And then I leave it charging next to my bed. And then I go out, get the kid ready, as I said, sit down, and I just handwrite 3 pages. And I start off those 3 pages by saying something like, it's going to be a great day, or it's going to be a productive day. Just kind of setting that intention. I know I'm getting woo. This all makes sense for me now. I'll just start writing anything that pops in my head, anything I'm thinking about, anything I'm worried about for the day, anything I kind of be like, oh yeah, oh, and I have to reply to that email. And I just kind of work through it there while writing it out, and just not stopping either. Even if I'm thinking, oh, this doesn't make any sense, I don't want to read it later. You're not actually supposed to read it for a while, and until like 3 months. The person who came up with it, Julie Cameron from The Artist's Way, she's like, don't read it for about 3 months. But it gets everything out. It gets those cobwebs out. It gets me ready and motivated. And honestly, it's gotten me in this weird space where I don't notice my window anymore either. I know that I can start eating at 12. And then as soon as my window closes, I'm not like, oh, but what about this? The past 2 weeks, it hasn't been that. It's just been like, okay, my window's closing. The other weird thing I noticed 2 or 3 days ago is I don't want my usual takeout anymore. I know, nothing sounds good. I've been making my food because I'm just like, all right, what do I want? My body really wants, I really want the taste of garlic and ginger in my mouth right now. All right, let's just throw some chicken and vegetables together with garlic and like that's all I wanted was the garlic and ginger part of it. Everything else is just a delivery service, so I might as well make it healthy.
I like that.
So that's been like the last 3 days. Yeah.
How about that? See,
Yeah.
I need to try to figure out how to make different habits because I feel like instead of running my life runs me. And that's when I really start going and making bad. Like this morning, I got up, I was rushing around, and I said, I need coffee. So instead of making coffee, I said, all right, today I got to make coffee because I don't have time. So I go to grab the creamer and I pour it into my cup and it's lumpy. I'm like, oh, it went bad.
Oh.
I was like, you got to be kidding me. So then I jump in the car and I run to Dunkin' Donuts. And the first one I go to, it's like a big, giant, long line. So I go to the next one. There's a line around. I'm like, oh, no. So then I finally found one, third Dunkin' Donuts. And I come charging in here. And then I'm all disheveled. I need to start making new habits and figure out how to close my window. Because when I get up the 12 o'clock, I don't have no problem waiting to do. But what my problem is I let the window close. And then like 2 hours or 3 hours later, I haven't eaten since the first time my first meal. And then I start getting jittery and like nauseous, but not sick to my stomach, but like, I don't know how to explain it. It feels like I need to eat food or I'm going to pass out.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, that grumble that when you're losing weight and you know you're succeeding, you're like, okay, that's a victory grumble, but not when you're actually hungry. I think you need to close your window with food.
I think so. But the problem is usually with me is I'm like into 6 different things at the time. And then I forget. I don't even notice. And then when I finally get done for the day, because I don't think about food the whole time I'm doing what I'm doing because it's all hands on deck. And then when I get done, it's like, oh, all right, now it's time to eat. So I don't think I can end my day in 6 hours.
And that's an ADD thing. And I bet a lot of that is fear that you won't be able to go back and pick up exactly where you left off.
Absolutely, because I don't.
That was one thing when I was working with Harriet, the eating coach, and she does the Eating Coach podcast. She was working with me on that. And she was like, what would happen if you just stopped at a particular time, went up and ate? And I was like telling her all the things. And as I was telling her, I'm like, well, what if I lose my spot? What if I forget to do this? What if I forget to do that? And she's like, but has that ever happened? I was like, no, because I don't let myself do that. And she's like, okay, well, take the precautions. Write down where you are. Write down exactly what you have to do before you come back or when you come back and go eat. And you deserve that. And it's one of those things that she kind of had to drill into me is that you deserve to break for food. Food, like we're trying to diet and we're trying to get better, but we should have a better relationship with food where it's not something like, oh my gosh, I have to eat this, or we have to go into I get to eat this. I get to close my window with food.
Yes. And going back to what you were saying about the morning pages, because it sounds like a wonderful idea, but see, okay, so here's my morning pages. All right. Today is going to be a wonderful, how do I spell wonderful? Wonderful, wonderful. Today's going to be a good day. You know, it's one of those things. I was going to say, get up and record.
Yes.
Just get up and record, and then run that through something that does that transcribes it.
I don't even think you need to do the transcript because it's not like.
Well, you don't go back. Yeah, you don't go back and listen to it, do you?
Yeah.
Or you don't go back and read your morning pages.
No. I like seeing them. I like flipping through and being like, oh man, I worked through a lot of stuff. So definitely keep those recordings.
Right.
And maybe make like a note or two like, oh, by the way, I really worked this thing out that I was thinking about overnight. And, oh, I need to remember to do this for the day.
Yeah, I love audio because it's how I learn. I'm not a reader. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the ADD or whatever. But I'm not a reader. I love to listen to things. But the problem is reading's great for skimming. So you can skim to get things. Listening, you can't skim. You can't skim ahead. So I think that if I could find, I think there's what's it called? There's a thing out that you can run audio through and it transcribes it. I'll figure that out.
I mean, there's Temi, but you have to pay for that.
Yeah, I think there's another thing you have to pay for.
There are a few free ones out there. They're not that great, but I'm sure you'll get the gist of what you're talking about.
It couldn't misspell words worse than I would.
Yeah.
To be quite honest with you. But what happens is it freaks me out when I try to spell a word and I can't. I'm like, no, that's not it. no, and then I lose my train of thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to be able to sit down and so maybe that's what I will do. I will get up in the morning and I will turn on the recorder of my phone and I will have, instead of have morning pages, it'll be morning recordings.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And do you know, because of morning pages, I can already tell that I'm becoming a better writer. Even though I've been writing these scripts for this podcast or for my other podcast for 2 years, but just writing every single day makes me a better writer. I'm wondering what talking every single day could do for your audio.
I'm not 100% sure. But the thing is, I will give myself permission to be quiet when I don't have anything to say or when I'm thinking instead of going, the same way when I try to monologue and record by myself, I can't stand it because I feel like I should be able to continue talking and then I lose what I want to say. So then I sit there and then I get anxious about doing that. So this will maybe help with that. Maybe help with my monologuing.
Yeah. And let me ask you this. We've been going live in our group since episode 8. We're on 31 now. Before going live, did you feel comfortable going live on Facebook at all? Well, you were doing it for Brand X.
I was doing it for the Brand X
That's
podcast. True. For some crazy reason, when I turn on a microphone, I have no nervousness whatsoever. I don't think, well, maybe I shouldn't say that or people don't want to hear that. It's the most real me there can be.
I think that's your meditation is podcasting.
Yeah, it is definitely. I'm starting another podcast.
Of course you are.
Well, because I have the Brilliant Observations with Jessica and Melissa, and that's nice. I get to play a little bit on there, but it's not mine. So I don't know if anybody, I had a Brand X podcast, which was a friend of mine. He Jamesed me. He decided to just quit. And I was like, okay, which was fine. So we're starting another one. And we used to have my cousin Jimmy on the podcast. So me and the Jimmy are starting a podcast. Well, we're in testing right now. If it works out, then we will go with it. But we're trying to figure out what the name of it. I said, Yo Cuz, the Sin Cave, because, we come down here and we just do stuff. But that to me is my therapy when I can get in here and just hug it out about topics and subjects and stuff like that. Because I got things to say and I have opinions and I don't care if you want to hear them. I'm going to talk about them.
I had this guy, he was trying to sleep with me, but he got philosophical and thought that was the way to get into my pants, is trying to analyze me and fix me. And he said to me one time, but it really resonated. He's like, you have a lot to say, but you just need the right person to listen. I know that was a line. That was absolutely a line. But at the time, and sometimes I'm just like, yeah, he's absolutely right. I know he's saying it for the wrong reasons, but. Guys,
one-track minds. But do you think you were getting the vibe that he was just being the nice, sensitive guy that he thought you needed?
Yeah.
He wasn't really just being a friend talking about it?
No,
okay.
Because once we did start something, he wouldn't tell his friends about me. So, yeah.
He wouldn't tell his friends about you?
No, wouldn't tell his friends about me.
Jeez. Yeah, that's when that would have been the end of that.
Yeah, that pretty much was. That's why I'm not married to him.
Okay.
But even Adam's been podcasting every day for November, doing NADPOD, which is National Podcast Post Month. And he says he's gotten better at speaking and cleaning up his audio because he does it every single day.
I tried that last year. I think I made 7 days.
Well, I think you don't need the obligation to put it out. And I think that's maybe what makes us nervous is we're fine talking into the microphone, but as soon as we have to press publish and it goes out, then it's like, oh, now I'm putting that out there for judgment. And that's one of the things about the morning pages. My husband, he doesn't care. It's kind of nice he doesn't care. I think my previous husband would have been reading it, but
really?
Yeah, well, depending on the personality, but my husband's like, no, I mean, you'd tell me if there was something up. I don't have to read it in your diary because we're pretty open and honest with each other. He's like, I don't like when you pull the passive aggressive thing because I'm a dumb guy. So if you're mad at me, I need you to say I'm mad at you.
I tell Samantha all the time, I only have 2 balls and neither one of them are crystal. You're going to have to explain to me why you're upset and what you're mad at. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's tough. Women, it's not something women do well. They think that you're supposed to know, and we're stupid. We don't. It's just the way it is. We need to be told. We need to be told.
Yeah. I have to explicitly lay out for him kind of, okay, whenever I've been on a diet, I'm going to be dieting. I'm going to be mad. It's not going to be at you. I need to warn you ahead of time. If I snap, just rub my head and tell me I'm pretty. And I'm apologizing now because I know that that's what's going to happen.
It is true. I do get grumpy when I'm hungry. Well, it's hangry. You're hungry, which makes you angry, which gets you hangry. And living alone, I don't have to put anybody through that. Sometimes there's just a lot of yelling down here all by myself. If something goes wrong, then it's that. But yeah, so the habit thing, I like the idea of changing habits, moving the window in, because it's been a bad couple weeks. I don't know if it's the whole, this is a bad time of year for me.
Yeah, you've said that. Have you gotten a happy lamp yet? Can we get you a happy lamp?
What is a happy lamp? I've never heard. I got to write this down. Happy lamp. What's a happy lamp?
It's the happy lamp I talked about a few weeks ago. It's the bulb with kind of the natural sunshine elements that you need during the seasonal affective disorder time.
Of course not. I will have to get a happy lamp now, or I will at least look one up and see what the happy lamp does.
Just look it up. Yeah. Because light therapy is actually, that's another thing. That was the other thing with, I had a happy lamp at work because I didn't have windows around me. So it was like, well, I need this lamp on, but I can't deal with any other lights. This sucks. I would honestly we had a storage closet where it had a light switch and you could walk in and it was pitch black and it was so nice. And I would just go in there and stand. That's how bad those lights were. That's how bad. Ugh.
It's crazy how things like that affect the human body. And then we just allow it, or we don't, for whatever reason.
I know. We just go into the medicine cabinet, and I was taking Excedrin. Like, I think Excedrin, you're only supposed to take every 4 hours. At the very maximum, you were supposed to take like 8 a day. And I was taking that. I was watching the clock until I could take another one because it was just, awful.
Alyssa in the chat room says, try a salt lamp. Does that mean I have to lick it? What's a salt lamp? I'm so stupid.
I have a salt lamp. Here, I'll move my camera over so you can see it.
Let's see. What's a salt lamp look like?
Okay, so a salt lamp.
Oh, there it is.
Himalayan. Yeah, it's Himalayan sea salt. It's very pretty. I noticed that it actually weirdly helps my allergies.
But what's it do?
Okay. As far as I know, so this is Himalayan sea salt all over it. So if you did lick it, like I have to put it on a shelf because the cats will lick it.
It's actually salt.
Yeah, it's salt. This is like actual salt crystal. There's a light inside of it that kind of heats it up.
Okay.
And what happens when it heats it up is the salt, it doesn't melt, but like whatever's good about it, the ions, mine says like it's ionic. So it releases negative ions to counteract the positive ions, which are the ones that, this is so woo. I don't even understand most of it. But yeah, I have a salt lamp. I like it. It works. Yeah.
Okay. So again, I'll read into it. Sorry.
We will put all the links in the show notes for this. Thank you to everyone who reads the show notes.
I knew this morning this could happen where this whole show just goes off the rails like it did. And okay, so fine. But would you think that it's the same kind of thing that when you're down near the ocean, we call it the shore in New Jersey, when you get there, you get that sea air? Does it do the same kind of thing, like the sea air, that salty smell? I don't know.
Yeah, you don't really smell it. It doesn't smell salty, but I think, you know how you just feel healthier and kind of more awake when you're by the ocean?
Yeah, I like that. I might have to get blue glass. This is going to kill my Amazon account.
Blue blocking glasses, a salt lamp, a happy light.
A happy light. All the things.
All the things.
My kid said to me the other day, what do you want for Christmas? Now, all of a sudden I say, I want a salt light. Salt. What's that called? A salt lamp. I want a salt lamp, a happy light, and a blue blocking glasses. Yeah. And they'll be like, who is my father? Where did he go? Who is this man?
I know. I feel so weird when I bring things to Mark to be like, okay, I found another podcast and now they're talking about this thing like the salt lamp, or getting more turmeric. And he's just like, what happened? You're learning too many things. You're going outside of this happy bubble that I have of video games and chicken nuggets. And now you're trying all these new things. And I always worry that he's just like, my wife is going off the deep end. I don't know what she's going to bring into the house next.
No disrespect, Mark, but you're sitting there saying, what's happening? You're outside of my world of chicken nuggets and video games. Yeah. What are you, 8? I mean, that's what an 8-year-old says.
He is.
That is
He's my wonderful 8-year-old, and I love him.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, since I have no idea where we are in time and everything because of what's going on, this might be a long podcast.
Yes. Well, we hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving.
We do hope everyone, and we hope that we didn't see any, and you won't see that. You won't see anybody coming in and saying, oh no, I lost everything during that. We didn't have any people coming in and saying that they had bad Thanksgivings.
No.
So I think that hopefully everyone had a good Thanksgiving.
No, we had a lot of winning Wednesdays too. We have Anna was being consistent on keto through the week and not giving in to temptation. So good for you, Anna. Doo-doo.
Julianne met step goals every day.
All right. Summer said she let Thanksgiving rules spill over into the weekend, but it looks like the damage was contained to 2 pounds and she's back on track as of this past Monday morning.
And Brendan welcomed Joshua into the family. Oh, look at that little guy.
There's a picture of a newborn baby. Joshua is adorable. Thank you for sharing, Brendan. So cute.
I need something better than to doot for that. I don't know what I don't have anything, but I'm just saying. When you have a new baby, you need something better than just all right, you get 2. There you go. Oh, and he also lost 3 pounds.
Yeah.
3 hashtags on the scale over the weekend.
Yay. No, you know that is a pound symbol.
Right.
We were of that generation.
Yes, I am. That's right.
Elaine was low carbing, and she says it hasn't been too bad. A coworker said to me yesterday, you're getting skinny. I know I'm far from that, but thanks for noticing. So, yay. I love when people notice it.
Yes.
I haven't gotten that yet, but I think it's because mine's been so steady. Like, it hasn't been like
a big, you have to find someone you haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, that's true.
And then that'll make a big thing. Make a big difference. Heather said she picked up a Fitbit on Cyber Monday.
Woo.
It was on sale and she used some store credit to cover the cost. And it's been handy as a watch, but also helped motivate her to move more and track her actual habits during the day. Haven't met all the goals yet, but she's working on it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know. I've been looking for a smartwatch that I like. I have a lot of smartwatches for Androids, but I don't like how they look. I don't even like how the Apple ones look, so that's not even an issue. I don't know. I'm very picky about watches.
You know what? Here's the thing. When I see somebody with an Apple Watch or one of those smartwatches on, I just go, geek. You know what it's like? It's like when they used to have those things they put in their ears for the phone. The
Bluetooth?
Right, and they walk around with that.
Yeah, and you knew that guy was like, oh.
Right. I used to call those asshole detectors. If you saw that, you knew that guy was an asshole.
But that's just the stereotype. And then I'm sure if you got one, you would know how convenient it would be. And you'd be like, oh, yeah, that's what I want. Rachel ran 2 days this week. Her goal is 3 times a week. So it's Wednesday, and she already ran twice. That's awesome.
And Lisa says she got a Fitbit, but she thinks it's defective. It says that it's walking way more than I am, but she'll take it. And my winning Wednesday, which I didn't write down here, was that I put the Google Fit on my phone, and 3 days last week, I made it over 1,000 steps.
Yay!
So there you go. Is that it?
Yeah. Well, Elaine actually responded to Lisa and said she found out she had to put her Fitbit on her non-dominant arm and also change the settings to less sensitivity, and it worked better then. So just a little tip for those with the Fitbit.
Oh, see, I would have put that on my dominant arm and took the win.
Well, what I liked about Fitbit, the ones that I had, was that it could clip to your bra. And that was what I loved. I had the wrist thing when we first started recording. It wasn't a Fitbit. It was a Fitbit knockoff. And I just didn't like something on my wrist all the time or having to remember to remove it before showering. Like with Fitbit on your bra, you're going to shower anyway. You're going to take the bra off, hopefully. And so it was so much more convenient. So I need to find a new clip one that I like and that I'll remember to check. So that's my big thing with Fitbit.
Okay. Adam in the chat said, and I totally agree, we need to make a doo-doo sound drop of just Emily saying doo-doo. Because that would be amazing.
Never got a Fitbit for a gift and hated it. What a bizarre gift, unless you specifically asked for it.
Yeah. It's a great gift and it's nice, but it's like, here you go, Tubby.
I would like to get it, but in a way that's not insulting.
Right.
And I can't picture a way to do that. Or maybe winning one. Or maybe being like, okay, we're going to draw a prize. Oh, Emily, you already won. You won a Fitbit. Look at that random chance of me
getting a Fitbit. There you go. It's like them almost saying to you,
so there you are, Tubby.
Yeah. It's almost like getting a Weight Watchers membership for Christmas. Thank you.
I've been asking my husband for the weirdest things. I'm like, don't get me crap. I want TextExpander. Like, I want these like random software things that he's like, but that's not a gift I can wrap up. I'm like, but I want it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
This is what I want.
So what you do is you just take a card, not a card, but anything, and you just write TextExpander and you put it in a box and you unwrap it and you go, oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, that's.
But here's the thing.
Exactly
the Android doesn't have TextExpander.
Oh.
That's the problem. I had it on my iPhone. Now I go to get it through Google and it's not there. And I'm like, no.
Oh, no.
No.
That's what I was worried about. I thought it would. Well, it's on PC. That'll be fine for me.
Don't trust me. Well, it is on PC?
I thought so. I thought you could, or it's a desktop thing that you could put on your desktop.
You better double check that because I know it works for Mac products. It might not work for PC. We'll have to double check. Better to say that before you have him go buy it. Then what do you do with it?
I'm sure he would look into it too. And he'd be like, you don't need this. You know what time it is.
Let's go!
Ladies and gentlemen, now is the time for the moment you have all been waiting for. It's time for the weigh-in.
All right. I've never been more happy to have it be an odd week.
Oh. I am down 3 pounds.
What?
Yeah.
Now I feel like a moron.
Well, I don't know what it is. I told you the past 3 days, I don't want takeout. I don't want soda. I don't want anything that has a chemical, like weird. I'm like, oh my God, there's a chemical in it. And all of a sudden my stomach starts to turn thinking about it. I don't know where that came from. I don't know why. Delicious Wendy's burgers. I think about the bread and I get really grossed out now. Like, can't even. And I got on the scale and I saw that and I'm like, wow.
That's
okay.
That's worth another one.
Yeah. My weight right now ends in a 0.
Wow.
And that means like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to see a new second number pretty soon. Like I'm so excited. It's coming. I can feel it. I can feel that new second number.
So I've been really, really good with the whooshy pill all week long.
Oh, good.
Right. And because everybody's reminding me, thank you very much, to take the pill. And I have it here next to me. So when I get done here, I will take it. I didn't want to take it now because I'd be, all of a sudden John would dash from me. Where'd John go? So I didn't take it. So I will take it after I get done here. So, and I think it has made, a bit of a difference. I am down 1 pound. So
yay. Oh, yay.
I just thought I felt like I was better. I felt like I was better this week. Like I didn't take home any of the delicious cheesecake. Although I did eat over a week, I did eat a hoagie the size of a baseball bat. But I figured, food is food. I might have carved up a little too much.
Also, you didn't sleep last night. The scale doesn't move if you don't sleep, at least for me.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
And you had the same ailment I did because I saw in the Trello that you had hiccups.
Now, I put that on for you because
I saw
you
okay.
When I was having insomnia. Of course, I went to Instagram stories and then I was watching you hiccup. So I was wondering, what What did you do to get rid of the hiccups?
Mark came home about 20 minutes later, and my hiccups stopped as soon as he came home.
Really?
Yeah, that was it.
That I don't know. I've never heard of that before.
I don't know. Maybe it just distracted me long enough to catch up with him.
Yeah, because what happens with hiccups, you're like, is it gone? Is it gone? Is it gone? No, it's still here. It's one of those things.
They were violent. Normally I get hiccups and they're just whatever. I'll get them. These were just like moving my whole body. And I had a coworker once who had hiccups for 11 days in a row. He had to go, he couldn't sleep. He had to go to a doctor. The doctor's like, this is going to mess you up. Like, we got to try things it'll really mess your insides up to have hiccups. He was very sick afterwards because of the hiccups for 11 days.
It has something to do with it can have something to do with your heart too.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. There was a morning radio talk show guy here who had them for 4 days, was hospitalized for hiccups.
Yeah.
Had to go to the hospital.
So now every time I get the hiccups, I'm like, this is it. This is how I go.
This is how I go. This is how it all ends.
It is. Every time I'm like,
a hiccup and a thud.
I have irrational fear of hiccups killing me. Quicksand and hiccups. Those are my irrational fears right there.
Quicksand. That's how I'm going to go. A long shot. I can't hit the lottery, but I'm going to go on a long shot. Do you believe that's what killed him? No. I thought his heart would just explode. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not going to die from anything boring. I'm going to die from and she died of hiccups. Yep.
I see a story behind hiccups coming.
That's really good.
Write that down. I get credit for that idea.
I know. I give credit to people who give me the ideas.
I know. That's why I want to. Annette just popped in and said, late to hate to wait. Sorry, I'll have to wait for the podcast. You could always go back and watch this afterwards, too, because I don't want to give you any spoilers, but if you're going to watch one, this is a good one to watch.
No, well, his power goes out, and I'm just stranded here talking about my Thanksgiving, hanging out with my cat for about 10 minutes.
What a show. Well, we don't know how much of that's going to make it in. That's why you got to go back to recording. Saying that,
yeah.
If you want to see us fail miserably, make mistakes, John stutter over his words, and we correct John for things that he doesn't remember, all those things, you can go to hate2wait.com/Facebook and join the Hate to Wait discussion group that we have here. And we have a bunch of people in here. We have over, what's the count now? It's like 115?
Something like that. I love everybody who's joined. I love the memes. I love the food memes. You guys make me so happy. I kind of love this romaine thing going on because there are so many good jokes.
Well, I want to remain neutral on this.
I don't like that there's a food that makes people sick. But good job, internet, for all your jokes that make me laugh.
Yeah, my romaine stocks hit the toilet. Could you imagine a guy just puts all his money in romaine and next thing you know, this goes out? And it might never recover. You might as well just stop growing it.
We don't need it anymore. Although I love a good Caesar salad. So bring romaine back. Like kale. Come on. Kale.
Kale's the new romaine? Is that what it is?
Yeah. I'm fine with kale. I don't care.
And this show has been all over the place. This has been, I don't even know what kind of day you would call this kind of.
Like, what would I write in my morning pages? I think today I wrote,
Did you say this is going to be a day where John loses his power and the show goes off the rails? Is that what you wrote down today?
I said this was going to be a good day, I think. But I always put an exclamation point. Sometimes there's a smiley face.
Oh, punctuation. Very important. Along with emojis. Emojis set the tone of the text. I'm learning that as a 57-year-old man because when you make a joke and there's no emoji saying it is a joke.
Yeah, nobody knows. They don't know what you're talking about.
People think they take you serious. Yeah. And then you can get a grumpy face when you talk to that person next in person. That happens. These things happen. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you. Please go and find us in Facebook. And we are also on the Twitter. Okay. All right, everybody. Bye.
Bye.